What if I told you 17 under would not actually win a major?
I wouldn't believe you.
Well, what if I told Rich Lerner that from the Golf Channel, that 17 under Rich would not win this weekend? What would you have said?
Well, I'd say I'm not that surprised because 14 under didn't win the Masters. That's because Jordan Spieth shot 18 under. We're kind of in an era, and nice to be on with you guys, Eric and Andrew. We're in an era where guys are just busting through. They're busting through records at every turn. We've had a number of records set the last 2 years. The guys are stronger and faster and more athletic, and the equipment is better. The players are better trained. They're more focused, hyper-focused on majors. And when they arrive, they're ready, and they're bringing their very best.
Rich, where would you rank, of all those great moments, many of which you just ran down and described there, where would you rank Jason Day's emotional moment on 18 yesterday?
I mean, it's one of the good moments of the year. I think everything, as time passes, will sort of be overshadowed by what Spieth did, and that's understandable. But I will say this. As Spieth and even Rory McIlroy climb to higher historical ground, and I'm talking about 6 majors over time, 8 majors over time, those places where some of the legends reside, Arnold Palmer at 7 majors, Tom Watson at 8, Ben Hogan at 9. As they climb, and I think they will because they're so young, they're going to have to step over Jason Day to get there. He is absolutely a force. Just you look at his numbers alone. He's played in now 21 major championships, and he's not that old, 27. So 21 majors. He's been in the top 10 half the time, 10, and he has 7 top 5 finishes, and he's won once. So now with the confidence that he's gained, understanding what it takes, knowing that he can handle the heat, combined with his intensity, makes him, I think, a legitimate force. I think we may have sort of a new big 3. I know there are more than just 3 capable guys. It's Bubba Watson, it's Justin Rose, it's Ricky Fowler. But these 3, I think, are going to win their share of majors. I think there's something compelling about Jason Day. I don't know how much you guys know about his backstory.
Yeah, Rich, tell the story here, because there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, he grew up with very, very little in Australia. His father died of cancer when he was 12. And Jason sort of rebelled at the loss and was drinking into trouble. Mother used to cut her grass with scissors because they had no money. He ended up going to an institute for sport, and he was essentially rescued by the man who today is his caddy, a guy by the name of Colin Swatton. They call him Call. He's his coach, he's his caddy, he's his father figure and mentor. It was a hard road to get here. Jason was always gifted. He was ticketed for great things when he was 18, 19 years old, not unlike Rory McIlroy and even not unlike Tiger Woods. It's taken him a little while, but the physical talent is there. And I also think he has the emotional and psychological makeup to be great. In other words, where this wouldn't be a one-off. And we see that a lot. I know when somebody wins a major championship, we're guilty of saying, well, the floodgates will open. I think in this case, it's well-founded to make that statement. A, given his age, he's just 27, and he's coming into his prime years. And B, given his early track record at the majors, which is so good. On top of all of that, he's very long off the tee, hits the ball high. He has a wonderful short game. And as a fan, I like watching him. He brings kind of a visceral quality to the screen. He's built like a rugby player. He's really physical. He doesn't just swing the golf club. He hammers it. He bludgeons it. You can feel it at impact when Jason Day strikes the ball. To me, he looks like he should be starring in the next installment of 300: Rise of an Empire. He has like a gladiator quality to him, and he's just a really exciting player.
Jason, we talked about that story of his life, and something that I was reading on him is like at the age of 13, he read a book about Tiger Woods and decided he wanted to be that guy. And I'm looking at where Tiger is right now at 200 and
286.
Let's just say he's no longer number one.
286.
Okay, he's 286 now. What's his relevance in the sport right now? Tiger, that is.
I'll put it this way. He's not as much of a necessity. That's the word I would use. He's not as much of a necessity as he once was. Is he relevant? I think he, as one of the greatest of all time, you're always somewhat relevant. And I do think there's a curiosity factor every time he tees it up. But he's no longer first block news. In other words, when we do a show, if we have whatever it is, 15, 16 segments, he's generally seventh segment, ninth segment, whatever it is. And it's strange that he's not in the conversation. He's not in a field at Bridgestone where he won 8 times. He's not playing the weekend at 3 consecutive majors. And Brandel Chambly did an interesting breakdown the other night. The ages of legends at the point where they first missed 3 cuts in a row at majors. It was Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Sam Snead. And the first time it happened for all of those legends was like well into their 50s and even 60s in the case of Sam Snead. And his point was that Tiger's 39 years old. He's an old 39. And look, Tiger, I will say this. It's a shame that the great Tiger is not around, is not good enough at this point to circle these young lions, if you want to use that analogy, at a major championship. I mean, how good could it be if Tiger were in the mix late on a Sunday with Day, with Spieth, with Fowler, with McIlroy, with any of these guys? Look, the pages turn. There are no illusions. The Tiger-Phil era is over. It was good, but this new one has a chance to be great. Now, will we see 30 win guys like Vijay Singh, 40 win guys like Nicholson, 80 win guys like Tiger at 79? That's unlikely. It's the fields are so deep now. They were deep when Tiger played, but I think what will separate this generation is likability. There's a decency to these guys, to McIlroy and Spieth, and after 25 years of scandalized sports, from steroids to Lance Armstrong and Mike Tyson to even more, I would say, heinous crimes like O.J. Simpson, whatever it's been, I think there's a hunger on the part of the public for good character to go with a great play. Now, it's not a morality play. We're not canonizing saints. But I think as a bonus to the good play, it's nice to run into a character like Spieth or Jason Day. And you never do know. That's the one lesson we've learned. We don't know. We can apply, what we think we want these guys to be like. And sometimes it turns out to be a disappointment. But it seems as though this is going to be a strong a group of characters in this generation. And I also think they're going to give us some really exciting play. And it's unfortunate if this is the end for Tiger. And I'm not 100% ready to write him off, but it doesn't look good. I don't know that his will to win and compete is there.
Well, we saw the will from Jason Day. We saw the will certainly all year long from Jordan Spieth. And we also saw John Daly throwing a club, Bubba Watson arguing about ants, among other things, this weekend in Wisconsin. Rich Lerner.
Well, my favorite moment, Andrew and Eric, was when Matt Jones went tin cup up in the hospitality area. Did you guys see that on Saturday?
Yes.
I mean, that was unreal. It's actually an easy shot for a professional to clip a ball off. I mean, it was like clipping it off a range mat. But it was kind of cool to see, Jones go tin cup up by the plastic cup. Look, Daly is He's a big-hearted guy, warm-hearted soul. He's kind of a hot mess, John. And Bubba's hot and cold. Bubba complains probably a little too much for some people's liking. But in the end, this a lot will be written about Spieth. Consider this, guys. I'll throw out one more stat. In the modern era, going back to 1934, which is the first year of the Masters, so they call that the modern era, the four majors. There's only one other person who's finished fourth or better in every major in a single year, and that was Tiger back in 2005. And so Spieth has gone first, fourth, second. And you can make the statement comfortably that no one under the age of 23 has ever had a better season than Jordan Spieth did this year. Tiger was 24 in 2000 when he went nuts. But this is probably the best season ever by someone under the age of 23.
Yeah, and an amazing season at that. One of the all-timers, Rich Lerner here from the Golf Channel. Rich, thanks for spending part of your money. No, it's been a Monday, rather. It's been a long weekend for you. Thank you, sir.
Fun. Enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Rich Lerner of the Golf Channel.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.